What's going on, guys? Today we're here in Cleveland, Tennessee. Now I got a tip that there's a new release, day one on the market, hasn't even hit the shelf yet, of a new bourbon from a popular bourbon podcast. I have an inside scoop. I'm gonna go try it out. Before I go in, please be sure to like, comment, sub, and let's get into it. Man, when you first walk into the store, man, they have a whole section of bourbon barrel picks. I mean, they even have some tequila barrel picks as well. I mean, the whole thing, the owner wanted to get a new barrel pick every week, and he's been killing it. I mean, you got Blue Rum, Old Elk, Clyde Mays, Short Barrel, Old Scout. I mean, brands I've never even heard of, but they got it. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest and largest single barrel selections I've seen at a store. Really cool owner as well. I mean, bourbon selection is pretty expensive. I mean, they got some stuff. A lot of stuff. Some things you guys have even, told me to try, right? And, the whole reason we're here is for this new release, and we will get to that here shortly. But I want to show you at least what they have on the shelf before we get to the meat and potatoes of this video. Because, I mean, I've had a few comments say that, I should slow it down a little bit, show you guys a little bit more on what's what. So, trying to take my time, listen to you guys, take your input into account, and make these videos even better for you guys. All right, for your viewing pleasure. So as we look through the shelf, try to stay out of people's way, but just gonna look through the shelf and just show you what they have. 4-gate, 2XO, multiple renditions of 2XO, multiple different short barrels, Penelope. I mean, Calumet. Of course, like I said, I'm not really familiar with Calumet, but they got it. Red Line, J. Mattingly, very old St. Nick, just sitting on the shelf. I mean, they have some hitters, man. Have some hitters, and then let's not forget they have even more single barrels. I mean, if you want something unique, they got it, and the prices are very reasonable as well. I mean, Old Elk for $89. I don't even know what this is. Old Potrero. It's a pot distilled rye, $79. A barrel proof single barrel for $55. I don't know what this is. And then they even have, for people with points, they have this section right here. People without points, they have this section right here. So they have something for everybody, whether you visit the store frequently or not. They have something for everybody. Now we're about to head to the real meat and potatoes of the video, which is this new release. We have a brand ambassador here who knows the whole story was there when they entered the Tennessee market. Before we hop over here, man, do me a favor, drop a comment, like, sub, and let's get right into it. All right, so we have my guy Ray here, who, like I said, was the brand ambassador for Pursuit United. And he's gonna give you guys a little bit of the backstory on why I'm even up here for this release. So Ray, what is Pursuit?
Absolutely. So Kenny and Ryan are co-founders. They got their start in the podcasting world. They run the Bourbon Pursuit podcast. It's the #1 whiskey podcast in the world. They had 2.2 million downloads last year. So they talked to everybody in the industry, all the master distillers, blenders, tasters, and so they decided, you know what, we've got all this knowledge, let's try our hand. And so they started buying up single barrels from across the country, and they initially just started doing just single barrels, just private labeled single barrels. That was a pretty good success. And so then Ryan, one of the co-founders, started doing blends, just experimenting. And they landed, their first blend was a bourbon. They got some barrels from Finger Lakes Distilling out of New York, Bardstown Bourbon Company in Kentucky, and then an undisclosed distillery in Tennessee, but it's not made by George Dickler. And then they decided to do a rye as well. So their rye is a blend of mash bills. It's a 95% rye from Bardstown Bourbon Company, and then a 95% rye from Sagamore Spirits in Maryland, and then a 52% rye from Sagamore Spirits also in Maryland. So both of these became very popular. They both won double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. So they decided to kind of tap into that success, and they took that original product, so same thing we just talked about here, and the bourbon, they took the standard bourbon and finished it with toasted American and toasted French oak. Definitely mellows out the bourbon quite a bit. Adds caramel, vanilla, some really good burnt sugars, and then the rye they added French sherry oak. So they took stays that used to hold sherry, cut them up, put them in there, and let it age for a little bit longer. Adds definitely the sherry fruited component and mellows it out just like extra wood should. And they're both fantastic. So the bourbon has been in been in Tennessee for about a year now, and then the bourbon and the rye, and then the oak collection here, the blue bottles. This is day one.
Day one.
Day one. We're trying it day one.
Awesome, man, and I appreciate you letting me come and document some of this, man. But for the people who may want to get a gig like yours, as I mentioned, brand ambassador for a liquor brand starting off, or maybe one that they're a fan of, kind of like how you were.
Right.
I mean, what is your story? How did you end up partners with them?
Yeah, so I do this part-time. I've got a full-time job in the nuclear industry, so I do this for fun. But I've been a long-time listener of their podcast. Podcast's been around for 9 years. They got over 700 episodes. So been a Patreon supporter, and about a year ago, they reached out to their Patreon community and says, hey, we don't want to hire just anybody to be a brand ambassador. We want people who already know our story. And so I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And so that was about a year ago. So I've been doing this a little bit, and it's been a blast. So they take care of us. Again, it's part-time. It's for fun. But yeah.
Yeah, so basically turning your hobby into a job, right?
Right, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, for fun. All right then, man. Well, give you guys a look at, what he was talking about with the different regions and everything like that. But, I mean, they have tasting notes. I'm not going to try to cheat. I'm going to try to pick them out myself. But, I mean, overall, man, pretty good brand. Is this nationwide, or where would people find these?
Yeah, so we're limited distribution.
Okay.
So made in Kentucky, so obviously we'll be in Kentucky. And then Tennessee, Ohio, Georgia, Colorado, Texas, New Mexico, and Missouri. Oh, and Benny's locations in Illinois.
Okay. So if you guys are in any one of those locations, be on the lookout, man. It's supposed to be some good stuff. But how does it really taste? Let's do it. Let's do it.
So this is our standard bourbon.
Okay.
Again, everything we make is 108 proof.
Okay.
We leave the proof high so you can enjoy it how you like it. If you need to put some water in it, throw an ice cube, or even mix it in a cocktail, the flavor is still there.
And this is the first release, right?
Yeah, this is the first release. The
first
standard,
release.
Blend of straight bourbons.
Oh wow! So I can taste the actual progress, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Taste the journey.
Taste the journey. Taste the pursuit.
Man,
For me, that is oak and vanilla.
Oak and vanilla. I was gonna say it has some woodiness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely has some
you can
woodiness.
Smell that oak and vanilla.
I'm gonna cheat
and
a little bit.
hint of amurana, that's good too.
Yeah. Yep. Got fruit in it.
Yeah.
Definitely
Little bit
some
hint of
fruit.
amurana, a little bit like a cinnamon.
Like a cinnamon.
Like a
Yep.
little
Like a
cinnamon,
cinnamon.
You feel that little bit.
I was a little off. I was a little off.
Straight nose on the nose, straight oak and
Yeah. I was a little off. I was thinking a little bit spice. I think maybe like some nutmeg, but cinnamon is pretty close.
Yeah, and so the actual mash bills we use, the one out of Tennessee is 80% corn, 10% malted barley, 10% rye. So there's a little bit of rye in there for flavor.
Okay.
The mash bill out of Bardstown, I believe, is 70% corn, going off of memory here, 21% rye, and 9% malted barley.
Okay.
And then the mash bill out of New York is kind of different.
Okay.
Instead of rye, we use red winter wheat. So
Okay.
it kind of like Maker's Mark, it adds a little creaminess to it, and it just gives it something different that other distillers don't have.
Gotcha. All right, and this was the bourbon.
That was yes,
All right, and here we come with the rye.
that's the rye. So again,
Yeah.
it's two mash bills from two different states that are 95.5.
Okay.
And then the one mash bill out of Maryland that's 52% rye. The rest corn and malted barley. So,
All right. Now I really can't cheat on this one because I can't even read the tasting notes.
yeah, that's small print.
Completely different taste profile.
100%. Yes.
Completely different. It's not so much woody. It definitely seems more fruit forward.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I get a lot of citrus.
Yeah, way more fruit forward than the bourbon, but it's actually good, man. It's It's mellow. It's not that spicy high rye.
Right.
When you think of rye, it can either go one or two ways. You're gonna be grabbing your neck, or it's gonna be real chill. And this
And
is
a lot of 95.5s are like that. That's why we use that 52% rye. And I think that's 43% corn. I'm gonna verify over here.
Let's see.
52 rye, 43 corn.
And was I right with the? Okay, yeah. So grape, strawberry, lemon candy, brown sugar. So yes, it was
Definitely fruit forward.
way more fruit forward. All right, guys, I got one out of two right. So I mean, base products. That's for them to be that, for that to be their first product. I mean, that's a great start. Man, I see why it was so successful. It's actually pretty good.
And both, like I said, both won double gold. So
And what's the normal price range you will find these on the shelf for?
SRP for the bourbon and rye is $65.
Okay,
And then for the oak collection is $75.
75. So $10 a little bit more.
Yeah, and it can vary store to store. You know, each store manages their own margins, right?
Absolutely.
That's just the SRP. So usually plus or minus 5. Depends on what store you go into.
Absolutely. All right, so
This is our finished bourbon. It's part of our oak collection. It's a different color, different color label.
yep.
So it is the standard bourbon product, and then we finish it with toasted American and toasted French oak staves.
Okay.
Similar the way Makers makes their 46 blend, right? They take the barrels apart, put it in a tank container, and add the extra staves. So that's the same process we follow.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's do it. So this is the bourbon first. A really nice nose. It's more bold. The smell is definitely, it's not as modal as the first rendition, but
Tonight. We open up to 11 p.m. tonight.
oh yeah,
Tonight is
those staves. So it's the same, pretty much the same thing with the staves.
Yes,
It makes a big difference.
huge difference.
Flavors all in your face.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it definitely makes the vanilla prominent, and you get the burnt sugars. And what I liked
Oh,
again,
man.
so
That's
the
good.
original product had that little bit of cinnamon to it.
Okay.
And I was afraid that French oak would overpower that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I love that because I like the cinnamon aspect this has.
I do. It brings it more to the front.
It does.
It brings it more forward.
Instead of just being a hint of cinnamon,
Yeah.
I think you get like it reminds me of a cinnamon stick,
Oh man, that's
like you put in a hot toddy.
exactly. I'd say that'd be a great hot toddy drink. That'd be a great one.
And then this is our rye. Again, same liquid.
Okay.
And it's finished with French sherry.
Okay, French sherry.
White meat and one
And so, guys, I can't cheat on these because he does not have tasting notes or anything for the new product. This is day one. You guys get the first look at it. Come on, guys. If that doesn't deserve a sub, I don't know what does. I don't know. Smash the subscribe. Same effect.
Yeah.
Same effect. It brings more of that fruit, but it's not like overpowered. It's not sweet. It's the essence of the fruit, but not the sweetness of the fruit. So I love that. That is, I can get the hint of the strawberry.
Okay.
Get a little bit hidden strawberry. More like orange peely.
Okay. Yep.
Not like the fruit, but like the peel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When I first, with the standard rye product,
Okay.
the very first thing that hits my tongue is lemon peel.
Okay.
And that goes away a little bit for me with the finished rye, just because the brandy or the sherry kind of adds more of. You should get away from citrus and you start adding something that's a little bit different. That's a little more sweet, like you said.
Yeah.
You get the essence of like a cherry or something like that.
Without the sugar. Yeah.
So,
Man, that's a tough one, man. I mean, because the thing is, it took the original product and elevated it, right? So
yeah, we didn't change. Like we didn't want to change the essence of the original product. Like you said, we wanted to elevate it.
I mean, Ray did change the stoppers, guys. I mean, this does not come with the bottle, okay? Does not come with the bottle. It would be great if it did. It does not. But yeah, I mean, either one you find, guys, you cannot go wrong. Both renditions, whether it's the bourbon or the oak collection or the rye and the rye oak collection. I mean, either one you find is gonna be great. It's a great product. The oak just brings a little bit more of the tasting notes to the front a little bit more, but the base wasn't bad at all. So basically, you're starting from good to great, essentially. I appreciate you letting me come and try and listen to the story, and even just document this whole process. I mean, day one is I feel honored. I feel honored.
Absolutely.
So, and this is information about the founders right here, guys.
Yeah, Kenny and Ryan.
Okay. Yeah.
Ryan, Kenny is our chief operating officer. Ryan is the executive officer. Ryan's also our blender. He does all the blending.
Okay.
Does a fantastic job. They when they got their starting the brand, who's going to do the blend right? They had a blend off.
Okay.
And say who could come up with the blend, and then they did a blind tasting of each other's blends.
Yeah.
And Ryan won.
He-
So, yep.
You know what that says?
Yeah.
If you ever have a disagreement with your bourbon buddy, just have a blind off and see who wins.
That's right.
That's it. Make it simple.
Yep.
Make it simple.
And it really shows that they care more about the quality of the product too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they wanted to do what's best.
Do I grab one of these or is
Yep, right here.
All right.
So they haven't even hit the shelf yet.
First one.
There you go.
We'll do a live review of this one. All right, guys, that concludes the video for today. I mean, got a chance to try a bottle that hasn't even hit the shelf yet. If you're in any of those locations that he listed off, be sure to look for that bottle. I mean, you will not be disappointed. I actually left out of there with my own. So from experience, guys, trust me. But leave a comment if you've tried it, if you've had it. Drop a like. Please drop a sub. The support goes a long way. Thank you guys so much for staying to the end of this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.